How's everything going tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday. So, if you're watching with me live, say hello. Let me know that you're out there. I hope you had a great week studying for the exam. I hope that if you are a new agent or somewhat experienced, that you're out there too and you're having a fantastic week. So, like I said, if you do have any questions, please feel free to type in the chat. I'm here with you guys live answering any questions. And if you're watching this on recording, please comment down below. And what I'm going to tell you guys is this. Hello there. So what I'm going to tell you is this. Something that I've been asked and bugged about for a while now has been really helping people find brokers and find places that they could call home once they pass the exam. So my goal in 2021 is to really start helping you guys out with that. Okay, so this is something that I take personally because I help you guys so much through the real estate exam prep, and I help you guys out doing a whole bunch of different things. I just want you guys to know that I'm out there for you, helping you in that next step. So I've implemented this. So if you look up above, you can text my office admin, okay, and set up some time to speak with me about what brokerage might be right for you. Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. There is not, and I say this no matter what, there isn't ever a perfect brokerage. There isn't ever perfect brokerage. And what I'll tell you is this. I will tell you that there's a lot of times that I'm going to steer you away from a brokerage that I might have worked with, a brokerage that I might be working for, because any place that I want to put you in, or any place that I think is going to be really good for you guys, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to make sure that it is the best situation for you. Because here's the thing. If I bring you into a brokerage that I'm working with, I don't get anything. I don't make any money if you don't make any money. So that's why that's something that really is key, imperative, important for me, that I'm connecting with the right place, because it makes me look bad, and it also makes me no money if I bring you into a brokerage and you're unsuccessful there. So I'm looking for you guys to get connected with the right brokerage and to grow your business and to meet the goals that you guys have. So like I said, I am going to be setting up, 15 to 20-minute appointments where you can speak to me and we can talk about some things that might work out for you in regards to what your next step is if you have a question with that. So again, to schedule any of those appointments, you just text my office admin and we'd be able to take care of that. But you know what? I do have a great question that came into the chat, so I'm going to take a look at it right now. So let me see. Here we go. It says, hi, what is an option contract? Okay, what is an option contract? So that's something that I think a lot of you guys have questions about. So guys, what I'll tell you is this. An option contract, okay, an option contract is a contract that is going to be unilateral, okay? It's a unilateral contract. Now, let me just get to my chat, okay? And what I'm doing is I'm just trying to kind of maneuver everything around so that I can see on my screen. Perfect, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I'm watching you guys live as you're with me. So bear with me one moment. There we go. So I'm going to be reading those chats that come in. So yeah, so I will tell you what an option contract is. It's a unilateral contract, meaning it's binding to one party, okay? So watch this. If you guys are watching live with me, if I gave you the option to purchase my home or not. So the key with an option is usually there's an or, okay? You can purchase my home or not, okay? That's going to be an option contract. So an example of one in real estate is going to be you can, again, purchase my home, or you could choose not to. It's binding on the option or the one giving the option. The one receiving it, that's the optionee, okay? And they have the right to either exercise the option, that's what it's referred to as. They either exercise the option or they don't. So that's the situation there. Great question. I love that one. Thank you so much for asking that one. I'm going to look in. So let's see. Well, fun. Taking my test Tuesday. Wish me luck. Very thankful for your webinar. Yeah, guys, something else I'll tell you, shameless plug. If you guys don't know already, we do offer weekly webinars. So these webinars are going to be long-form webinars. We're going to cover multiple topics, okay? So we either have those usually on Friday or Saturday. If you go to helpmepassmyexam.com, you can sign up for a webinar. You can sign up for private tutoring. You can also find links to our YouTube channel. So there's a lot of stuff out there. So if you're a Facebook user and you haven't gone to the YouTube channel yet, or you haven't checked out one of our webinars, do that. It's really a lot of fun. We interact. It's a great time. And what you get afterwards, just so you guys know, you get a link to an ad-free version of the webinar. So you guys can take a look at that. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. Good luck Tuesday. Hard test. Look, listen. I'd be flipping burgers right now if this test was easy. You know, if this test was easy, I'd be flipping burgers. Okay. So yeah, good luck. I hope that you come out on top, and I hope that the next thing you do is text me and tell me where you want to go as far as a brokerage. Let me help you get into the right space, because something that you guys don't know that I did, just kind of putting this out there, because people ask me, you know, what kind of connections I have, what my background is. I used to, for a very long time, I trained various brokerages for large corporations like Zillow, okay? And I used to travel the country. I saw a lot of great places, and I would go doing CE presentations, a lot of different stuff. So guys, what I want to make sure you realize is that I have contacts all over the place. And what happens is this: those people are saying to me, Stu, why aren't you bringing me and connecting me with these great, fantastic, wonderful new agents that are out there lost? And then these lost agents are saying to me, hey, why aren't you helping us find a brokerage? So I'm doing kind of like happy marriages now. So like I said, you know, schedule some time with me to sit down and talk about that, talk about your goals. What I would recommend is, before you do talk to me, make sure that you know what your goals are, okay? That's really super important. Let's take a look at the chat. Let's see what else is coming up here, okay? Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just taking a look at the chat real quick. That's why my eyes aren't. Oh, love this. I love the shameless plugs. Lashia, I hope that I pronounced it correctly, okay, said, I stumbled upon your videos in November 2020, and I love your teaching. And you could definitely tell that teaching is my passion. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Listen, I want to thank you guys. Listen, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys supporting me, if it wasn't for you guys coming on here, giving me words of encouragement like that, because I feed off that, okay? So the passion I have, the energy that I have, I want to continue doing that. So that's why on a Sunday night, I'm not sitting down having a spaghetti dinner, mostly because my wife's out working right now. So Mrs. Stu is out working hard, okay? But I want to spend some time with you guys, because I haven't done that in a couple of days, and I've been really enjoying the interactions that we have here. So thank you so much for that. That was so nice. Let's see. Got a whole bunch of other ones. Let's see. I'm going to read this one, so bear with me one second while I read it, okay? It said, here's a question. An owner has a freestanding, let me finish reading that over here. An owner has a freestanding cabinet that was custom built to fit in the alcove. Yeah. When the owner sells the home, the cabinet will best be described as personal property, okay? Because here's the thing. Key there, freestanding. So what you're trying to figure out, Jack, is this. You're trying to figure out, is this a fixture, which is a piece of personal property that's been converted into real property through attachment, okay? Or is this personal property? So this I would deem as personal property, because if you took the whole entire house and flipped it upside down like a diorama, it would move. So typically it would move, okay, unless there's an agreement already in place, like the buyer says, hey, I want to make sure that this stays with the home. You know, if there's no superfluous agreement that's taken place, then I would recommend that that is definitely 100% personal property. Hope that answered your question for you. So thank you so much for that. Really like that question, okay? Someone else said hi, and I say hello to you, okay? This goes kind of like what we were talking about right now. Jessica said, what is chattel? Well, that is the newest, latest, greatest real estate Snapchat alternative, Snapchattel. It's not. Don't start looking for it. There's no Snapchattel. But I'll tell you something. If any of you guys out there are programmers and you could do something like that, I want to make Snapchattel a real estate Snapchat only application. But what is chattel? So chattel is personal property. Okay, so if you have a knickknack, if you have a remote, another remote, a pen, all this stuff, it's movable. So what happens is these would be considered personal property. So going back to Jack's question earlier, okay, for the real estate exam, that was a piece of personal property because it was movable. Okay, so even though it was custom built for that alcove, because it's not attached, I would not declare it to be a piece of a fixture. So that's the situation there. Let's take a look there. Let's see. Okay. Stu is on live. Hurry up. Yeah, if you are not out there watching me live whenever I go on here, and here's the thing, I gave you guys a little bit of notice too. So if you aren't out there watching me live, you're missing out. This is absolutely a wonderful way to spend your Sunday night, right? Okay. So let's see. Chattel is cattles and cows move. I love that. That's a little Joe from Prep Agent. Chattel is cattles and cows move. That is exactly correct. Okay. How do you get into the webinars? Again, I'll tell you this. The webinars are going to be registering. So if you go to my Facebook group, you'll be able to see all the webinar schedules. Also, if you go to helpmepassmyexam.com, all one word, helpmepassmyexam.com, go to my calendar of events, you'll see every single one of my webinars that I have upcoming, okay? And we're going to be releasing the February schedule soon. So guys, if you do have any requests for any webinars that you'd like to see us do, again, we do them in 2-hour formats where they're a little longer. And afterwards, you get a link to the recording without any ads in the middle. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll actually be able to see some of the live webinars that I've done. And you'll be able to see that there's a bunch of ads in the middle. And that kind of subsidizes, helps make this all go. Unfortunately, money makes the world go round, and we have to make a little bit. That we try to make it very reasonable for you guys, though. And that's why I do a lot of things. I come on here, I answer questions for you as much as I can. I do this kind of stuff to help you guys out. So like I said, I think that it's a pretty fair rate that I charge. And what I'll do is, I always am willing to work with you guys too. If you ever have any issues or anything like that, if you're having some trouble, let me know. Because I'm a reasonable guy. I'm not someone who wants to beat you over the head. So please let me know. Ask any questions you have. If you're like struggling with the test, and like I said, you're struggling, we can make up payment arrangements, things like that. If you want private lessons, get into some of the webinars, things like that. I don't throw that out there often, but I tell you guys, I'm not an animal, not a monster. I'm someone who basically I'm pretty understanding. So I like this question. This one's a great one. Okay. How often are ad valorem taxes paid? So ad valorem taxes are usually annual. It depends really on the town, and it depends on the situation. Typically what happens is, I'm going to tell you in a practical sense. So ad valorem are what you would refer to as your general real estate taxes. Okay. So your general real estate taxes are your ad valorem taxes. So they're usually paid quarterly. Okay. That's how typically, if you have a mortgage on the home, you're probably going to be in a situation where you're going to be paying them quarterly. And that's going to be taken out of your reserves from your lender. So that's something that, as far as a practical sense, you probably wouldn't get asked a question like that on the real estate exam. So that kind of question, 50-50 on the test. You wouldn't see that really, though. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Oh, man, let's see this. This one's a pass. Stu, I just want to let you know I passed. And passed the Texas real estate exam. Awesome, yeehaw! I failed the state portion first time and passed national, but I redid it and passed. Way to go, way to go! And I'm trying to work through the messages and see how I could read them and do all this kind of stuff and popping them up on the screen. So you got to bear with me while I'm doing all that stuff. So if you do need, if you do want to get any brokerage recommendations, I have a ton. Texas, depending on what part of Texas you are in, because Texas is big. I could definitely hook you up with some fantastic, amazing, wonderful brokers out there. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it grooving. Right, guys? Okay. So Ebony said, I'm thinking about Keller Williams. I don't know yet. I've been at Keller Williams. I train a lot of Keller Williams. They're super nice to me. I always say good things about them. And it really depends. So each Keller Williams that I've ever been in, I've liked a lot. I think that the culture is really important. But again, I always tell you guys, and even when you're going to be calling me up or texting me about this, I'm going to tell you guys, bottom line is you need to know what your goals are. If you don't know what your goals are, then it's almost pointless for you guys to, start thinking about, any kind of brokerages. So let's take a look and see what else we got, okay? Oh, here's a good one. Lee said, I passed my state exam a couple weeks ago. Your videos definitely helped. Yeah, go ahead and watch those videos. Those videos are really going to help you guys out. I have a ton of them, and this week we're actually going to start recording our daily real estate practice exam questions this in a couple of hours, and we're going to be reaching over 200 videos. I've done 200 daily questions for you guys. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait till we hit that 200 mark. That was really, thank you so much for saying that. Okay, let's see. Here's a question. Let's see. I have a bunch of questions. I'm just trying to see which one I'm going to go into. Okay. Hey. I see. What name is your Facebook group? The Real Estate Exam Study Group. So if you find that, you would be able to basically get that. What was I going to say? You'll be able to find us there. So my dyslexia. I'm trying to read and talk to you guys at the same time, and that's so troubling. I'm still trying to get that. Okay. Brokerage recommendations for Florida. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Text me. Okay. Tell me what part of Florida you're in. Okay. Tell me what part of Florida you're in, and tell me what your goals are. I need to know your goals in order to be able to help you out with the brokerage, right? Because if your goals are, to sell luxury, I don't want to stick you with a place that does rentals. Okay. So that's something. That's why I say to you guys, I need to know your goals. Okay. If you're going to sit here and say to me, I want to do this, I want to do that, and I connect you with the wrong people, then you're going to leave pretty quickly. Got to keep my whistle wet. So thank you for that. So like I said, shoot us a text message. Oh man. Okay. Hey Stu, the online test was today. Never happened, but I talked to nice tech people from PSI for Sri Lanka. Test in 2 weeks. Oh yeah. If you're doing the at-home testing, what I'm going to tell you is there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of concerns with it. I personally don't recommend it. So what I'll tell you is this: I probably wouldn't recommend, the situation there in regards to that. So let's take a look and see. Let's see what else we got. Do you have state review for Virginia? No, I'm working on other state reviews, just so you know. But just so that you guys know, I need to say this so that you understand this. The state portion of the test is usually the easiest for everybody, because what happens is there's a narrower field of what they could ask you. Okay, there's a narrower field of what they could ask you. Also, typically, you kind of know where they're going to end up. So that's the situation there. It's usually easier, the state questions, because, and that only consists about 20 to 25% of your test. Everything else that I do on my channel, that I do with Prep Agent, that I do, out there in, Facebook groups, that's all national material. That's about 75 to 80% of your tests. So I would really be focusing on that. And that's where usually people struggle. So I would be focusing on that. So let's see. Shout out to my grandma. My grandma was, I put her on the Prep Agent group. My grandmother, it was absolutely fantastic. Had trays of food for days. That was a great picture. So if you're not in the Prep Agent group either, that's another group that, that is definitely a big help. Okay. So here's a great question. I like this one. So if I want to do commercial real estate, what other courses do I need? You need experience. Commercial is really tough. And it's tough not because it's actually like difficult, like it's more difficult than residential. Once you understand it, you understand it. Your licenses in all states are going to basically cover you for residential and commercial. Okay. There's no separate license that you need, but would it be practical for you to go in and practice commercial real estate if you don't have that experience, if you're not with someone who can mentor you and things like that. I work with some of the top commercial agents out in the field in my home state of New Jersey. So so if you were a New Jersey person, I could definitely point you there. I also have so many point of contacts to help you with commercial. Elsewhere, again, I would be texting me so that I could help you further flush that idea out, because you could really go wrong in commercial. You could really start to go down a path of just, being scatterbrained with that. There's a lot of things that you could do. Okay. So let's see what else. Okay. Okay. Yep. I love this question. This question I've had a couple of times. Okay. It says there was a question about leasing land to someone for the use of cattle and for the use of mining rights, like oil. Okay. Can the two be leased together because they are completely separate entities? So here's the thing. What they're basically testing you on is your ability to understand that that basically what happens is this: the mineral rights and the surface rights and the air rights could all be leased and sold separately. Okay, so you don't need to, you don't need to necessarily keep one or the other, because they ask you in that question which one is going to yield you the most money. The answer to that is selling or leasing both, because that's where you're going to make the most money. If you had cattle and if you had the oil rights sold. So that's the situation there. So hope that helps you out. And that's also a, what was I going to say? Oh, love this one. Thanks, Stu. Love Prep Agent. I've referred this channel with a lot of people. Yeah. So I work with Prep Agent. I have my own channel. And you can see me on the Prep Agent channel. So it's something that I'm out there a ton of different ways, because I just love connecting with you guys. I love helping you as best as I can. So yeah, just keep in mind, we do offer, other one. Yep. So we do offer private tutoring. We do offer coaching, mentoring, things like that. So if you do need any kind of help at all, we're there to help you out. So keep that in mind too. So, and that's why I tell you guys, if you do need a broker, okay, what I want you to do is start texting me, start letting me know where you're looking, what you're doing. And even if you're also too, I keep everything confidential. That's why I say text me. I'm not putting up really anybody's questions about broker specific stuff. I think the Keller Williams one, that was a great one. But I won't put you, if you say to me, hey, Stu, I want to talk to you confidentially, and I never blurt anything out. I never say anything. I never alert any of mine. Even if you're with one of my best friends, I wouldn't tell anybody, because here's the thing. I think that, and I always say this to every broker that I work with that has worked in conjunction with me, I always say, if the shoe doesn't fit and they're not making money under you, we need to get them somewhere where they're making money. Why have the overhead? Why have them there, right? So that's the situation. So let's see. This is a question I'll take a look at, only because they say, hey, Stu, I know you're a New Jersey broker. Do you know anything about the 3 months extension? If you do, can you please explain it for me? Love your YouTube channel, by the way. Thank you so much. So the extension I think that you're referring to is going to be for PSI testing. So they have extended, I believe, till March for New Jersey. I don't know. Again, I would contact PSI. I would also contact the state so that you can know exactly what the situation here, what the situation is. So give me 2 seconds to just take a sip. So let's see what else we got in the chat. And I hope that helped you out too, okay? Let's see what else. And I'm just looking through. Oh, man, there's so many good chats here. Thank you guys so much for, someone said ad valorem yearly. Yeah, like I said, it's something that it is annual. However, like I said, if you're asking how they're paid in a practical sense, typically paid off quarterly. So it really depends. Depends on the situation. So let's look at the next message that we got coming in. Okay. This one's a great one. It said, I've learned more with your videos and Joe's than I did in my real estate course. And you have to understand, and said thank you. And this is what I'll say. Thank you for that comment. I'm not here to put anyone down as far as real estate instructors go. A lot of times what happens is the real estate instructors, and this is what I say, this is actually kind of my spiel with the real estate course. There's not a lot of resources for instructors to get better, okay? So if you wanted to become a real estate instructor and then be better, like learn how to teach, there's not a ton of resources for you. There's not. There's just not. It's something that you have to go out there, you have to be hungry, you have to want it. And that's why I like helping people, because I am hungry. I did want it, okay? And what I'll tell you is this. It's something that I do want you guys to, basically understand that not all instructors are bad. They just don't know how to teach. They don't have the resources. So April says she wrote a question earlier, and let me see if I could find it. Okay. Let's see. So the question is, and I hope this is the question, it says, in simple terms, a sum of borrowed money, principal, okay, usually repaid with interest, is a loan. Yeah, is a loan. Is a loan. That's a loan. So, because here's the thing, it's the simplest version of it, okay? If you're looking at this, right, it's not a mortgage. A mortgage is a pledge of real property and as collateral for repayment of a loan, okay? So that's why the borrower is the mortgagor. The borrower gives the mortgage, right? So the loan is exactly what you're talking about, a sum of borrowed money, okay, that is going to be repaid with interest. That would be a loan, okay? That is the simplest version of that one, okay? Let's see. Let's see what else we got, okay? So, yeah, so what I'll tell you guys is this. A lot of you guys do have a ton of questions. So April said the principal and interest threw me off a bit. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's because what happens is it consists of principal, which is the debt services, which is what we would refer to as, let's say, if you had a $100,000 loan, that's what it is. It's a $100,000 loan. Okay, so the $100,000 is the principal. That's the balance, okay? And then the interest would be whatever interest rate that you have it at, right? So that's what that would be right there. So, and I'm glad that and yeah, I mean, in these chats, whenever I have one of these up, I have no problem answering any questions. You just got to keep in mind that I'm like darting back and forth between chat and trying to talk to you guys in a sensible way so that I don't sound like a drool monkey, so that I'm not sitting here like basically going, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Let's take a look at this one. This one says, I'm new to your channel. I want to pass my course so badly, okay? But I'm busy with homeschooling my kids. What do you think is my best way to study? That's a fantastic question. Well, first of all, welcome to the Stu Crew. Welcome to my little community. I'm always on. I'm always available for you guys. And if you do need extra help, something I'll tell you is we do offer private tutoring. So you go to helpmepassmyexam.com. You'll be able to see private tutoring, prep agent links, all different kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that we offer that you can take advantage of. And sometimes what I'll tell you is this. Also, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see some of my past private tutoring sessions. So you can also decide if that's something that you want to incorporate into your studies. And that might be, to get you to kind of talk through like, okay, how do you study? How do you learn? What are your struggles? What are your focuses? Do you have any kind of learning disabilities? I've worked for 14 years with thousands of students. So a lot of the things that you might be doing, I might be able to give you a couple tips and tricks that might help you out. But some of the things that I say is don't overstudy. I always say that. Don't overstudy. You don't want to be studying way too much. And I don't think with you homeschooling the kids and being busy, you're going to have that problem, okay? But the other thing, too, is I say treat it like the gym, okay? So if you do have prep agent, I say use all the utilities, use all the tools. So I say that when you do start sitting down to study for the exam, I always say don't focus so much on one thing. Like don't always go back into the book. Don't always go to videos. Try doing a bunch of different things. Just like at the gym, if I went to my personal trainer and I said, I went to the gym for an hour and a half today, he'd be like, oh, that's great. And then if I said to him, yeah, I did bicep curls, he would say, okay, what else? And I said, no bicep curls. That's all I did, an hour and a half. He would go, no. Same thing with your studies. Don't stick to just one thing, even if you start falling in love with it. Okay? So, it's a great question. Do people ever just wing the real estate exam and pass it? Yes. Yes. Yes, it happens. I'll tell you this. I had a wing it moment. I'll tell you the story about my instructor's exam. Okay, that was basically a wing it kind of thing. The instructor's exam, I didn't know that they had a cancellation. That's really what happened. I was planning on studying for a couple of weeks. They had a cancellation, and I was basically told, "Hey, do you want to take it now? Do you want to try taking it like it was something like 12 hours away?" And I said, "Okay, fine. You know what? I'll take it 12 hours from now." Like, and I studied like a little bit. We're talking like I ran through the glossary a little bit. I had plans to fully study a lot more, but it didn't happen. It didn't pan out. So, yeah, I winged it and I passed. Is that likely? No. That's why I have a job. That's why I have a channel. That's why everyone's here. So, is it smart to do it? No, I wouldn't wing it. I wouldn't do all that kind of stuff. But does it? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my wife tells me all the time about the guy she dated in college. You know, she went to Cornell University and she would barely get C's. My wife's one of the smartest people I know. Okay. And I'll tell you this, she was like, the guy I dated in college was, she said he could just go and take a test and get like a B or an A. So there's just people who just naturally could just do it, and now she's, married to me and I barely could spell my name right on my high school diploma. So, she had a real upgrade. So let's keep going. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. So here's a great question. This is something that is definitely something I'll address. So someone says, "Are you tutoring for specific states?" I'm studying for New York. So I tutor for all 50 states because I tutor mainly on the national information. So state-specific information I wouldn't be tutoring on, so like state-specific laws. But what I'll tell you is this, mostly that's what you want to learn. Like that's about 75 to 80% of your test. So again, that's basically what I tutor on. So, and also, like I said, go to my website, go to helpmepassmyexam.com, go to my YouTube channel. Okay, the link's right in the middle, like right in the middle. You can't miss it. If you miss it, guess what? Don't take the test. It's literally right in the middle of the screen. It says click here for my YouTube. There's a playlist that has all private tutoring sessions I've done, all different ones. I've done ones that are more math focused, more study tip focused. Like I just put one up the other day that I was doing with somebody that was basically me going through different study techniques, study tips. So also too, for the mother who was homeschooling, that might be something you want to do. Dig into my YouTube channel and see some of those videos. Like I said, go to the private lesson section. The first one that I just did, the most recent one, a lot of study tips, a lot of study tips there. So that was a great question. Okay. So someone said you're awesome. Thank you. Okay. So that is the situation there. Yes, you're awesome. Thank you. You're awesome. You guys are great. So someone asked a question. I'm going to put this up here, take a little sip of something, and I'm going to answer it. The question is, I'm having issues with the word problems. How can I get through those questions? You have to read it slowly. You have to really try to understand what it is that they're asking you. That's the hardest part of word problems. Any word problem is really deciphering what it is they're asking you and not adding any additional stuff to it. You don't want to add anything to it. You don't want to add anything. So that's the situation there. That's what I would say. So really carefully read it, figure out what it is they're asking, and go from there. So let's see. Let's see what else. Let's see. Do people pass their exam after one tutoring session with you? Yeah, people have. A lot of people have. I think that you should go to my business page. It's Real Estate Exam Prep. It's my business page on Facebook. Also, at the bottom of my page on helpmepassmyexam.com, you'll be able to see all my reviews. And they speak for themselves. I'm not going to sit here and gloat about myself for a while. I will tell you, there are people who take the study sessions with me and still do not pass. Like, because here's the thing, there is no silver bullet. But I will tell you this, I get booked up very quickly. And people love having the sessions with me. And like I said, I put a lot of my sessions out there so that you guys could see what I do. So, and it's not a secret. It's not, I try not to hide any of the information. I try not to hide any of the coaching tips that I give you. I don't try to make it so that you have to pay me. You have to do all these things. I implore you to utilize an exercise. I have over 300 videos on my YouTube channel. Watch them. Watch them. Watch a ton of them. I mean, that's why I put them out there, because I know not everyone has the funds, the time, the means, and that's okay, because, guys, I do make money off the YouTube ads. So when YouTube's come up, you know, it's something that I tell you guys, if you guys are watching my YouTube all the time, thank you. Thank you. If you're sharing it out there, thank you. Also, make sure that anyone you're trying to bring into your brokerage, you're trying to grow your business, grow your team, anything like that, I'm more than happy to try to help anybody who's looking to get their license. This is this is a means to an end. That's all it is. So absolutely, people pass. There have been people who've taken a tutoring session hours before like their exam, like the morning of. I don't recommend it. You do it. And some of the ones that have done that have passed immediately after and have really, you know, I mean, they say that it worked. So again, I'm not knocking it, but like I said, I wouldn't do it that way. Okay. So let's see what else. So someone asked, what is my website? Okay. So what is my website? The website is going to be www.helpmepassmyexam.com. Okay, helpmepassmyexam.com. Okay, so let's see this one. This one was a good question. Okay, and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. Could you explain a bit about environmental disclosure? What is the latest day that they have to disclose the info to the buyer? I mean, that's it's a hard question, because it depends on what the environmental issue is. It depends on what the situation is. This is something that a buyer, more than likely, if you conceal something, you misrepresent something, a buyer could void this contract. So, I mean, the latest day that they have to disclose it to make it legal and binding, I mean, until it's performed, and then there would be some sort of legal consequences after. But you probably won't get asked a question like that on the test, so keep that in mind too. So that is the situation there. So let's see what else. Great school. I'm trying to see if there's any other questions that you guys have. Yeah, so like I said, guys, if you do have any questions, you want to get some info on brokers and stuff like that, like where to go, where people that I'm working with, people that I've worked with, because like I said, I've worked with a ton of people. And also you have to realize too, there's a ton of people that I've helped get licensed, and I've helped get to a point where they're now opening up their own brokerages, because I have been teaching for 14 years. 14 glorious years. I had a full head of hair when I started, okay? So someone said, thank you for being there for us. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I can't say it enough. I always am looking for ways to do things for you guys and just give back. And I think that these live things, that's why, I mean, I spent money on, what was I saying? I spent a lot of money on this setup, just getting it like this and making it sound great. The software, the lighting. That was the other thing too. Like I did a live session with you guys last week, and I was like, there's something missing. And I noticed that it was probably lights in the background, and I put those lights up there. I have lights in front of me to make my face look bright. Okay. And what I'll tell you is this: I do all this, obviously, because this is my business number one. Look, let's call a spade a spade. This is what I do. But also too, like on Sunday night, I could be sitting here with my dogs, chilling out, watching some Netflix, watching some Cobra Kai, which is an amazing TV show. Come at me if you disagree. Come at me. But I could be doing that. But I choose to spend some time with you guys and answer any questions that you might have, so that I can help you guys out. So thank you for that. That was tremendous. Love it. Okay, so, ooh, this one's a great one. Let me read this one. Out of all your students, I was wondering how many times did someone have to take the test to pass? The most times to pass, I think the most times, and listen, I'll split this into two categories, okay? The most times from my school, okay, that I taught, like personally, me, took them through the 75 hours in New Jersey. 8. That's my record. Another instructor's record that I tried to help at some point, so I did come in and kind of be like, all right, let's try to help you. 24. Is that indicative of success? Is that indicative of intelligence? No. It's just there's people that we're dealing with anxiety. Some are just bad test takers. Some have also learning disabilities. So when you come into a private tutoring session with me, some of the things that I ask right up front is I ask you about how you're studying, what's going on, what's happening, all that kind of jazz. And I try to make it so that bottom line is that you guys feel comfortable, of course, sharing that with me. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I've helped people. I had someone the other day, and I'm sharing this story with permission just so you know. I have taught the other day, I was teaching someone who had severe narcolepsy. And that was a first for me. And I was learning how she learned, and she was kind of telling me a lot of things. And I was learning in the process, and I was trying to help her out through that. So what I'll tell you is this. Bottom line is it really depends on what works for you guys. So I say that it's a hard test. Otherwise, listen, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't have this business. I wouldn't be able to afford all this if it was an easy test, okay? So there's a small part of me that's like, I'm glad that it's a little difficult, that I can have a business and we can have a community and you can meet me. But I wish that it was like a 1 or 2 and done for most people. So, but it just really isn't, unfortunately, okay? So I like this one. It said, I'll watch your videos during work and we'll have your voice, and Joe's in my head Wednesday. Wish me luck. Good luck. I hope you pass. I really do. So that is definitely the situation there. Okay. Here's one. Stu, I'm in New Jersey and I can't get higher than a 74. I've done everything I can as far as studying and prep agent and whatnot. Any advice further to help recommend? Unfortunately, I feel that one session might not be enough. Might not be. It might not be. So what I'll tell you is this. I think that if you're stressing about it, though, if you're stressing about it and you're saying you're 1 point off, I've done everything, then just understand that it just might be, you just might need to take it a couple times. Maybe that's building up inside of you. I always say, like, the people that are in high stress environments, okay, the people that are in high stress environments, they don't think about the high stress environment that they're in. They don't think, oh my gosh, I keep failing by 1. Oh my gosh, I keep failing by 1. And I'm not saying that you're constantly thinking about that, but I think that something that you need to do is not worry so much about that you keep missing by 1. Because I think you're there. It's probably just the way you're approaching the questions. If I had to guess, you know, if I was a bet man, okay? So, let me see. You're helping a lot. Just did my second test and failed and still a little confused. So here's what I'll tell you. Yeah, that's why it's not an easy test. Again, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be sitting here if this was an easy test. You guys wouldn't be here with me. So bottom line is, yeah, it's something that I would definitely say, don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. The average person is going to be someone that's going to come in there and, you know, take it a couple times. Look at this, Tyler. Thanks, you helped me pass my test. Bam! If you need broker recommendations or you have any questions, you know, feel free to shoot us a text message. Even if you have a brokerage, if you want to talk about, like, you know, the different ways to generate business and things like that, I'm constantly always, you know, trying to help people out as best as possible. And that's why I wanted to make sure that you knew that this was open to you as far as a phone number, you know, and that you can text me for this kind of stuff, because I think a lot of you guys don't know how to reach me, how to get a hold of me, stuff like that. Text that number, okay? That's my office number. I put it out there for all you guys as much as humanly possible. Text it. Text that number, okay? You'll be able to get a hold of me fairly reasonably quickly. So, I would love to be a broker one day and start my own real estate business. Absolutely. Look at you. Look at you. I've helped a lot of people start their own businesses because it's something, like I said, I'm a giver on that one. So if you ever want to, talk ideas, talk shop, feel free to reach out. Like I said, text me. And I'd be more than happy to do that, sit down and talk with you, because there's a lot of different things you can do. There's a lot of crazy stuff. I actually just helped. I'm helping one of my students right now get their license in Hawaii. And I'm working with him. It's one of my New Jersey students. I'm getting his license in Hawaii. Wants to start a team in New Jersey and Hawaii. So really fantastic. Has a very successful team actually in New Jersey. And absolutely phenomenal agent. Okay. This is always, and like I said, I hate answering the broker specific ones. Okay. But I definitely will take this one. Give me 2 seconds. So, what's your opinion on EXP as a whole? I hear very high mixed emotions, but the most concerning was it's basically a pyramid scheme. So, I'm going to say this, okay? Their model isn't so different from a lot that's out there. Actually, their model is an evolution of, and I'm kind of going to take you down like a history of real estate. Their model is an evolution of Exit and Keller Williams. Okay, so Keller Williams and Exit originally did the whole entire like, if you bring someone in, we're going to give you a piece of what they make, so that what happens is, so this was the thought, and just understand this, okay? The thought was real estate agents eventually retire. They leave their book of business. If they do not work their book of business because they're independent contractors, their business dies. They make no more money. So what happened was a couple of companies said, okay, well, why don't we encourage people to bring other people in so that we could grow our business and give them a piece of what they make, so that occasionally what happens is this: you could have and build a little retirement nest egg for yourself, okay, so that you can make money and put it into retirement, okay? So Exit Realty, Keller Williams are versions of this as well. EXP is just the new kid on the block. What do I think about EXP? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think EXP, I think that a lot of people recruit the wrong way with EXP. Plain and simple. I think that people get very, very passionate, very emotional about it. And it's they get what I refer to as the barking chihuahua. You ever hear a barking chihuahua where you can't even hear yourself think? So what happens is this: a lot of people shut down around EXP. This is what I'm going to tell you. Just like I said for every brokerage, EXP is not right for everybody. EXP might not be the right brokerage for you. But what you have to do is you have to figure out what your goals are and what you're looking for to match those goals. And it might be EXP, but it might not be, because of the pyramid scheme thing. And here's the thing, and I call it a pyramid scheme thing, because here's the thing: you could go to EXP and never recruit someone. I know EXP agents that do not recruit people. They just go and sell real estate. So to them, there is no pyramid scheme. To them, there is nothing. Like, they don't see that. They don't see that. They see a brokerage that has, a very virtual world. Okay, they have like very, very tech driven, and they see it as a way to kind of get out of some of the brick and mortar kind of things. Now, here's the thing: there might be some people that need the brick and mortar. When I say brick and mortar, like the traditional office, that kind of thing, the culture. Okay, and I'll tell you this: I've worked with a lot of EXP agents, and I have very few of them I've let talk to me. about EXP, and the ones that I've let talk to me about EXP have basically been because I've initiated the conversation out of curiosity. Yeah, so that's how I always feel about it, is that I think that a broker, no matter what, should be coming at it from an angle like that they're talking to you about what your goals are. Because here's what I'll tell you. What most EXP agents don't realize is if they bring someone in and that person doesn't make money, then they make zero. So bottom line is you have to be bringing in the right people. If you're an EXP agent, you need to be bringing in the right people. So I hope that answered that question about the EXP kind of thing. And I hope that you like that answer, because as I said, they're not the first ones to do it. They're just kind of evolving that model. Exit Realty, so if you look at Exit Realty, they were kind of like the pioneers of it. And then Keller Williams, and kind of like at the same time, Exit and Keller Williams. And then EXP has kind of been a spin-off of that. And here's the thing, too. Most brokerages, even mom and pop shops, like I work with a couple out in New Jersey that offer some sort of residual, some sort of kickback, or some sort of something on people that you bring in, okay? So, like I said, I think that people just get very excited about it because I think that's the first thing they hear, is that you can recruit people, bring people in, and make money. And they're like, and usually what happens is people get really excited about that aspect of it, but that's not all there is to it, because as I said, there are people at EXP that do not recruit one iota. So someone asked me another question. Have you worked with the Keys company? No, I don't know where they are, where they're located out of. If you refresh my memory, if you tell me where they are, I might be able to tell you if I have seen them, but that doesn't ring a bell. What do you guys, I definitely think there's a typo here, but let's see. What do you guys tuck? I tuck my shirt to my pants. You can tell me. So, what do you guys think about Howard Hanna? Are those brokerages everywhere? I do not think so. That might be something that's a little. I would have to look into it in order to be able to speak to it. But I think that, again, like Marianne, I think that what you really want to know is this: you want to start talking about, like I said, what your goals are, because a lot of the times people go into brokerages. So where there's the most attrition, and when I say attrition, like the most changing of brokers, okay, happens when new agents don't know what they want and they don't know what they want to do. So what happens is they go somewhere and then they end up leaving because it wasn't what they thought it was, or they can't get themselves out of, they can't get started with their business. Because again, it goes back to what I was saying. If I recruit someone into a brokerage, or I send someone into a brokerage and they make no money, who the heck does that help? So what you need to do is you need to be successful. That starts with starting your goal process, your measurable goals. Once you have your measurable goals, text me. Once you know what your goals are, measurable goals, text me. We'll talk about it. We'll see what's right for you, okay? We'll see what's right for you. We'll see if there's a brokerage out there. Because, again, I don't recruit. I will tell you this. I do not recruit anyone who I think is going to make $0 hairs wherever I go and put them. It doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for any of you guys, okay? So that is the thing. That is the situation there. This is a great question. What do you think about local brokerage? I joined local. I am not happy. They offered zero training. Typically, here's the thing. Local brokerages are either really amazing, okay, or really underwhelming. It depends on why you join the local brokerage, okay? What are your whys behind why you joined that local brokerage? Is it the presence they have? If it was, then fantastic. Yeah, no, absolutely. And what I'll tell you is this. I've been at local brokerages. I've left local brokerages I've rejoined local brokerages. I believe in the right local brokerage. And you don't necessarily know that if you don't know that situation. So yeah, I would say my thought on local brokerage is the same as any of the national ones too. I think that the right brokerage, because also too, keep in mind the national ones. Okay, a lot of the national ones, what happens is the overarching theme is, they're only as good as that local office. Okay, so that's the situation there. So if you're, and here's the thing, that goes back to what I've been saying. You guys have to start with the right brokerage. That's why text me. Okay, get your goals down on paper. If you don't have your goals, get your goals on paper. That's what I want from you. That's what a good stupid. Listen, you're a part of my family right now. Okay, because here's the thing. We are in my house. Whenever I talk to you, whenever I'm on a webinar, whenever I'm doing anything, you are in my house, okay? And I treat you like that. I treat you like family. I treat you the way I would anyone if you were sitting here breaking bread with me. I am telling you everything that I would tell my brother, my sister, my mother, my father. Get your goals on paper. Because here's the thing. There is good brokers identify when you are not the right fit for them. Good brokers say, you will not sell a deal here. You will not sell a home here because we are not the right fit, oil and water. You're going to leave me in 3 months. Why are we going to even waste one shred of paper? Okay? That's how a good broker, should approach everything. Okay? So you guys need to get your goals down on paper. You need to do that. You need to do that for yourself. Okay? So let's see. And also, too, training. Yeah, I'll tell you, training is super big because I'm big on that. Okay? Let's see this one. What are some questions to think about for a new agent to truly break down what you're looking for out of a brokerage or team? What your goals are. Your goals. Your goals. Okay? Listen to me when I say this. They need to be measurable. Figure out how much money you need for the year. Have a serious sit-down. Plan. Okay? You cannot, listen, looking right in the camera, I'm looking at you guys. You cannot be successful without a plan. Okay? You cannot. You simply cannot. Okay? You can only fall up the steps so many times. Okay? You need to have a plan. You need to say, okay, if I sell X amount of homes this year, based on the average sale price in this area, I will be able to make X amount of money. Here's what I need. I need to have a minimum of this. I need to have this. This is my goal for, what is your marketing budget? A lot of new agents, do you know what they do? They start spending money like this. Way. And then all the money is puff. And then they don't have any money coming in. You can't do that. You've got to plan. If you do not plan, you will not be successful. So some of the questions that you should be asking should be geared towards your goals. Like this should be the question. Mr. or Mrs. Broker, here are my goals. How are you going to help me fill my goals? How are you going to help me that after a year, I can check all these boxes off? And you'll be able to tell right away. You'll be able to tell right away. It's eye-opening, okay? So we are the Stu Crew. Yeah, we are family. That's something important that I really like to reiterate for you guys. That's why I'm always honest with you. Whenever I'm talking about whether it be your exam prep, what you should be expecting. I have the tough conversations with you. If I'm not telling them to you, who is going to tell them to you? I got to take care of you guys. You guys have made me super successful. I owe it to you to be honest. I owe it to you to be honest. Okay. So that is the situation there. So let's take a look at this one. So this one was more about the Keys, kind of a clarification on what the Keys company is. The Keys company is in Florida. Ooh, so they're probably in the Keys, I would take it. My goal is being a family ambiance, new agent friendly, and provide monthly education webinars. So here's the thing. What I would do is this. If that was your goal, what I would suggest is that you ask them for a new agent that has joined the company. You know, who is a new agent that has joined the company that had similar goals to mine, where they wanted to be, you know, in a family environment, ambiance, and also ask them if you could go to their meetings, if you could take a look and see and come to the office maybe one day. You can tell a lot by how a meeting's run. Like if it's very authoritarian, if there's not a lot of resources there, if they're not talking about like a plan. Some of the offices that I go into that are very successful, they have a schedule, they have a plan, they have goals, they have all this kind of stuff. They have an infrastructure, they have a support, they have a spine, they have strong leadership. They have strong leadership with a good culture. I think that is really, like, if I had to like sum it up, strong leadership, good culture. You know, that is really super important, I think, in my opinion. Okay. So, yeah, so they said, thank you so much. Yeah, absolutely. So I will tell you this, it's something that I really do think that you guys need to do that homework. And like I said, utilize this phone number so that if you do have questions, I can help you out with that. So guys, what I'm going to tell you is this. We went for about an hour tonight. I hope you like this. If you're watching on replay, we're going to be doing this more often. We're going to be chatting. So come back with some questions, concerns, burning desires. I love going live. This was a ton of fun, as you could see. And I hope you guys have a great night. And if there's anything else that I could do for you, let me know. I'll see you guys real soon.